You walk around the streets of Vancouver, you find fabulous gardens like these. Just look at all these varieties of flowers. The temperate climate and long growing season allows people to have plants like these. If you look at the rich green colors in all of the trees here, you'll understand why the nickname for Vancouver is the Evergreen Playground, because the trees stay green all year round. This is one of my favorite places in Vancouver. It's called Lost Lagoon and is found in Stanley Park. It's a bird sanctuary where many types of birds and wildlife are protected. Whenever I see swans, I get a little bit nervous. When I was a little boy, about 4 or 5 years old, my mother brought me to the park. She was speaking with her friends when all of a sudden I ran away to pet one of the swans. The swan bit my finger and tried to pull me into the water and drown me. My mother had to run over and barely got me in time. To this day, whenever I see them, I get a little bit nervous. Canadian geese are particularly tame in this part of the park. You have to be careful though, they can bite. Here I am in Cole Harbour, which is on the side of Stanley Park and is surrounded by many luxury condos. Many of these condos have been bought by Asian investors and sit empty. Sometimes up to 50% of the building is empty. This has caused problems for business owners in the area, as this has created some dead zones where the stores are not very busy. They are thinking of passing a law making it mandatory for people to rent out their apartments. If you look off into the distance, you'll see one of the cruise ships that is very common in Vancouver. There are many cruise liners that make this a port of call on their way to Alaska or down to California. Right next to it, you will see the new conference center, which has a green roof. Here's a place I used to live about 25 years ago, downtown Vancouver. It's not looking so good anymore. But I've been told now that a 2-bedroom, which would be a 4.5 in Montreal, is close to $2,000 a month. And a 1-bedroom or 3.5 would be about $1,400. Can't believe how expensive it's become. My career as an ESL teacher began. This used to be a community center, and I volunteered to teach 3 Japanese people. When I showed up, there were over 30 people in my class. But it went very well, and I'm now an ESL teacher. Granville Island was originally a series of tidal flats and a sandbar. In 1915, the Vancouver Harbour Commission decided to connect it to the mainland using a railway. Since then, it has grown into a very large market district. Today, Granville Island has over 50 permanent vendors, theater spaces, restaurants, and great activities to do with the family. Here we have a public art piece that was created by Brazilian twin brothers called Os Gêmeos. And this was made as a celebration of public art down on Granville Island, covering some cement silos. It's very inventive. To create Granville Island, over 760,000 cubic meters were dredged from the surrounding water at the cost of $342,000. The island was originally called Industrial Island, but over time became known as Granville Island. Would you like to live in a houseboat? Here we have a group of houseboats down at Granville Island. Some people choose to live on these boats, and the lifestyle is very relaxed and comfortable. Looks like fun. I think I would like to try it. Here we have some luxury yachts. I have a feeling the owners are not English teachers. During the Depression, hobo villages sprung up around the island. These people were very poor and survived by beachcombing and selling salmon door to door.